Welcome to week 3 of Stretch and Pray for Advent. This week the candle lit was for joy, and it was untangling. Although Pastor Pete didn't really talk about it in his sermon, untangling your hopes is the other theme of it. And we're going to continue with reading through the book of Luke, and today we'll be reading about the birth of John the Baptist. So that's what the main part of the reading will be for today. Before we go into that, let's do a little bit of a warm-up. So let's take our chin to our chest and bring it back up to neutral. Chin to chest, sitting up nice and tall and back to neutral. Chin to chest, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Let's do one more. And bring it up to neutral. Good. Let's gently turn the head to the right and center and left and center and right and center and left and center. Let's do one more each direction, only going as far as you're comfortable. Good. And let's take the ear to the shoulder and center, ear to the shoulder. Keeping the nose and the chin facing forward. Just dropping that ear straight down as much as you can. Let's do one more each side. Good. Now gently roll the shoulders back. Breathing out as you roll back. Let's do one more and change the direction and roll it forward. Breathing out as they come forward. Let's do one more and release it out. Good. All right, let's go into some reaches. Let's reach forward. Breathing out as you reach, reaching from the upper back, not just from the shoulder or the elbow. Good. One more. And now let's take it to the corner. And only take that arm as high as you're comfortable. Breathe out. Navel's drawn in. Let's do one more each arm this way. Good. And now take it forward. Just reaching forward as far out as you comfortably can. One more, and now reach across. Again, just twisting as far as you're comfortable. We're just warming up through the body. Let's do one more each direction. And release that. Good. Now let's just gently take the waist side to side, shifting the waist over the hips, trying to keep your bottom still. So you're moving above your waistline. Good. And now just gently reach it side to side, making that movement a little bit bigger, feeling your weight shift side to side a little bit more on your bottom, but it's not lifting at all. Good. One more each side. And release that. Good. Let's take the torso circles, leading with the heart. Breathing out as you come around. Good. And let's take it the other way. One more. All right, let's take a flat back forward. Inhale. Exhale, pull up through your navel. Inhale forward. Exhale up. Now, if you're on the ground and you want to go a little bit bigger, you can take the feet out in front of you and grab the legs from behind. If you're sitting in the chair, just keep taking it forward, flat back. Exhale, round up. breathing out. Let's do one more. And roll it up. Good. Sitting up tall. If you're sitting on the chair, you're going to take that leg out and in over the stool. If you're on the ground, you can circle your legs away. And then take it the other direction. Good, and release that. If you're on the ground, put the feet down. And we're gonna just extend one leg and bend. So if you're sitting, extend and bend. If you're on the ground, you can take it higher. Good, now lift the knee up and down. If you're on the ground, you can give the leg a little hug more. Otherwise, if you're sitting, you're just drawing that knee straight up. And let's do one more each side. Good, now extend the leg. If you're on the chair, it's going to be lower. If you're on the ground, it's going to be higher, and roll the ankle around. Trying just to move that ankle. Go the other way. Point and flex. Keep the toes relaxed. Good, and now spread the toes and relax them. Spread the toes and relax. Spread the toes and relax. One more. And release that leg down. Other leg extends. Roll the ankle. Again, if you're on the ground, take it a little higher. That's better for your back. Go the other way. And then point and flex. Good, and now spread the toes and scrunch them up. Spread the toes, scrunch them up, spread the toes, scrunch them up one more time. And release that. Good. If you're laying down, come up to sitting. And let's just do the wrists. So take the hands down and up, moving just your wrist to move your hands. So keep the rest of your arms still. Good, and now roll the wrists around. Go the other way. Good, and now make a fist. Same thing, bend and flex back. Good, and now roll them. Trying just to move those wrists and hands. Hands are moving because you're moving your wrists. Go the other way. Good, and now spread the fingers as wide as you can and then squeeze. Inhale and exhale. Focus a little more on the spread. Good, one more, spread and squeeze. Good, shake it out. All right, so I'm gonna read. I'm gonna continue with the first chapter of Luke. When it was time for Elizabeth to have her baby, she gave birth to a son. Her neighbors and relatives heard that the Lord had shown her great mercy, and they shared her joy. On the 8th day, they came to circumcise the child and were going to name him after his father, Zechariah. But his mother spoke up and said, "No, he is to be called John." So again, it's Advent week of joy. So imagine the joy Elizabeth and Zechariah are experiencing right now, having the birth of this child when they didn't think that that was possible. Before we get into some stretches, let's do our breathing. All right, so I want you to just focus on your breath. You can close your eyes if you want to, and just become aware of the breath moving in and out of your body. Good, so now I want you to place your hands on your belly, and as you inhale, I want you to feel your belly expand. And as you exhale, feel your belly deflate. Feel a widening in your belly as you inhale. And as we stretch, I want you to try to breathe deeply as much as possible. That will allow your body to relax into the stretch a little bit more. All right, so we're going to try to keep breathing like that. But now we're going to start off. We're going to start off standing. All right. So, and if you're on the ground, you might end up back on the ground. So you're going to have that option. All right, I'm going to move my camera up again. All right, so we're going to start off with a standing downward facing dog. I'm going to turn my chair. And you want to step arm distance away from the chair. And then you want to push your bottom back behind you and lift your tailbone up to the ceiling. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can come further down on the chair. You can even turn the chair around and put your hands on the seat. If you want to go all the way to the ground, you can go into a full down dog. So that's up to you, how far down you want to go. Push your weight back towards your heels. If it's too intense, you can pedal your feet a little bit so that they're not straining and stretching the whole time. You want to feel a nice stretch down the entire backs of your legs. Do that nice deep breathing. We're going to hold it for just a little bit longer. And this stretches your arms and your upper back as well. All right, you're going to want to walk your feet in if you were down on the ground. Otherwise, just walk your hands up the chair. And I'm going to come sideways. And I'm going to put the weight on the leg closer to the chair, and I'm going to take a big step back. The back heel stays off the chair. Come up nice and tall, and you want to tuck and then sink straight down, bending the knees. Now you can also do this one on the ground. Knee on the floor, straighten out the leg, and then lean forward. You just want to make sure your knee does not go, you want it in line with your ankle or behind it if you're down further. And you should feel that right in here in your hip flexor. and into your quad a little bit, but it's mainly going to be up higher into your hip flexor. And just keep breathing. Good. And now, if you're standing, step that foot in. You're going to switch sides. Now, if you need to, you can move the chair to the other side. If you're on the ground, that front leg is straighter, and then bring your weight forward. And keep breathing. And I'm still hanging on to my chair. I don't want to be wobbly. I want this to be a stretch. I don't want to have to worry about my balance. Good, and release that. Now if you're down on the ground, you can come to all fours, and we're going to go into a cat-cow. If you're standing, you're going to face your chair. Take a flat back down inhale, exhale, round it up. So you can be up high doing a cat-cow, or you can be on all fours. So inhale, flat back, exhale, really pull the navel into the spine. Inhale, flat, exhale, round. One more time, flat, and then hold that rounded spine. Chin into the chest, shoulders down, breathe. Again, if it's too intense to stay real still, you can sway a little bit. Good, and release that. Come up tall, roll it out. All right, if you're using the chair, go ahead and have a seat. If you're on the ground, go ahead and have a seat. We're gonna go into our hips a little bit. Let me make sure I'm supposed to read again. Yeah, I'm gonna read again first. They said to her, "There is no one among your relatives who has that name." Then they made signs to his father to find out what he would like to name the child. He asked for a writing tablet, and to everyone's astonishment, he wrote, "His name is John." Immediately his mouth was opened and his tongue was loosed, and he began to speak, praising God. The neighbors were all filled with awe, and throughout the hill country of Judea, people were talking about all these things. Everyone who heard this wondered about it, asking, "What then is this child going to be?" For the Lord's hand was with him. Okay, so if you're sitting in the chair, you're going to take one foot over the other. Now, if you're on the ground, you can be back on your elbows, or you can be all the way laying down. And I'll come down to the ground in a minute. I want to try to have my ankle on my leg just above my knee. The further out you have this, the more of a stretch you're going to get. If your leg is up here, that's okay. Leave it there rather than pulling it in more, okay? And then you're just going to lean forward, and you should feel this stretch deepen in your glute and your outer thigh of that top leg. Now, if you're on the ground, I'm going to turn sideways a bit here. You want to drop that knee open, lift the bottom leg up off the ground, and give it a hug. And I am going to move my camera down again. Relax the shoulders and the elbows. If you're on the chair, lean forward as far as you comfortably can. If you're on the ground, pull that leg in as close as you can. Draw the navel in, but keep breathing. Let that bottom leg relax if you're on the ground. Good, lower that down, uncross, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So if you're sitting on the chair, take that leg over. If you need to lower it more, you can, and then lean forward. If you're on the ground, pick that bottom leg up, hug the underneath one, relax the shoulders, and just pull it in as close as you comfortably can. If you're sitting on the chair, you're leading with your heart. Keep your head in line with your neck. Just do that nice deep breathing. Good, and release that down. And if you're on the ground, let's come up to sitting. All right, you want to bring your feet together, whether you're sitting in the chair or if you're on the ground. And then I want you to pull them in closer. So if you're on the chair, you can pull them in. You know, if you can get them up here, that's up to you. All right, otherwise you're here and you're just bringing them in as close as you can, and you're gonna lean forward. Same thing on the ground. You're gonna lean forward. Again, trying to get those knees down a little bit. This is gonna open up the pelvic area. So this is another good stretch for getting this more open. That question was asked last week. If it's too intense of an inner thigh stretch, you can scoot the feet out more until it feels better. Relax the shoulders, breathe. Good, and roll it up. Now, if you're on the ground, I want you to straddle your legs. I want you to keep your chest up and your back flat and just walk the hands out till you feel that stretch through your legs. Don't round your back at all. Keep the shoulders down. If you're on the chair, I want you to sit with your legs wide and just slide your hands down. Again, flat back, make that frog, not the turtle, all right? So keep your head lifted, at least for right now. Shoulders down, and if you're on the ground, you're just trying to reach those fingers a little bit further. Getting a deep stretch down the backs of your legs if you're on the floor. If you're on the chair, it's a little bit more hip and inner thigh. And now if it feels okay to go deeper, you can bring your chin to your chest and lower yourself straight down a little bit more. If you're seated in the chair, hands are on the legs. If you can touch the ground, if you can touch the floor in front of you, you can do that if you're sitting on the chair. Otherwise, keep the hands on the legs. Only take it as deep as you're comfortable. Gently roll yourself up so you don't get dizzy. Just give the legs a shake out. All right, you're gonna grab your strap. We're gonna do a little bit of active shoulder stretching and then a little more passive. So we're gonna start off a little more active. I'm gonna scoot this over a minute. All right, so you wanna take the band and you wanna hook your thumb on it. Now, my band has got loops in it, so I'm gonna just put my thumbs in the loops. Otherwise, if you want to, you can double it up and do it that way, or just put the band, that your thumbs are more holding it. And we're just gonna raise, I'm gonna pick up some of my slacks, otherwise it's gonna keep going up and down. We're just gonna raise and lower our arms overhead, all right? But you wanna keep tension on the band, so keep pulling it apart. So I'm just gonna take my arms up, inhale, exhale. Now keep the shoulders down. Inhale and exhale. And your navel's drawn in. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now I'm going to take it up and I'm just going to lean to the right and come center. Same side. Lean to the right and come center. Lean to the right. Keep the hip down and come center. Good. One more time. Keep the shoulders down and come center. Good. Now go to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Lower it down, roll it out. And we're going to do one more active. I'm going to take it behind my back and just about shoulder distance apart. I'm still hooking it a little bit with my thumb, and I'm just going to lift and lower. Inhale, exhale. So you should feel this in the back of your arms. A little bit through your chest, but we're really focusing more on the back of the shoulder and the upper arm. And lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. One more time. Lift, and lower. Good. Okay, go ahead and put the band back to the side. Roll your shoulders out. And before we go deeper into the shoulders, I'm going to read again. This next part is called Zechariah's Song. And I'm going to read the first part of it. His father Zechariah was filled with the Holy Spirit and prophesied. Praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, because he has come and has redeemed his people. He has raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he said through his holy prophets of long ago. Salvation from our enemies and from the hand of all who hate us, to show mercy to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant, the oath he swore to our father Abraham, to rescue us from the hand of our enemies, and to enable us to serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness before him all our days. So you can hear the untangling of hope in that section. Of the Zechariah's song. All right, we're going to go a little deeper now into our shoulder. So we did this one in week 1. We're going to thread the needle. If you're on the ground, you can come to all fours. And you're going to thread your arm through underneath the other arm and then go down as far as you comfortably can, getting that stretch through the shoulder. Now, if that's too much, whether you're sitting on the chair or not, you can bring the arm across and then reach under, give it a hug, and then you can lean down. And that'll deepen it a little bit. You'll feel it wrap to the back of the shoulder more. If you don't like leaning down, you can just stay sitting up tall. Relax both shoulders down and just breathe. And release that. Shake that arm out. So if you're sitting up tall, bring the other arm across, underneath, give that arm a hug. And then gently pull, and then if you want to deepen it, you can lean forward so that you can put a little bit more weight on that arm to stretch it deeper. Or you can thread the needle on the other side. And gently release out of that. And let's come back to sitting. And we're going to go into eagle arms. And that's going to stretch the upper back as well as the shoulder a little bit more. So take your arms. You're going to cross one arm on top of the other right at the crook of the elbow. Now I'm going to give you 3 ways to do this. You can give yourself a hug. That's level 1. Level 2 is back of the hand to back of the hand. Level 3 is palm to palm. Relax the shoulders. And you should feel this in the shoulder of the top arm. You should feel this in your upper back. Pull your navel in. And just hold this to start off with, and then I'm going to take it a little more active. So gently just take the arms up slightly, and then bring them back down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale it down. Good. One more time. Inhale it up. And exhale it down. Good. Now keep your arms still and just lean forward a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, come back up tall. Inhale, lean forward, draw the navel in. Exhale up tall. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Go ahead and uncross that. Roll it out a little bit. And then you're going to cross the other one over. And one side might be different than the other, so adjust if you need to. Again, level 1 is to give yourself a hug. Level 2, back of the hand. Level 3, palm to palm. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. We're just going to hold it to start off with. Trying to get those fingertips pointed toward the ceiling if you've got them up. Keep breathing deeply. Good, and now inhale, move the hands and the arms up. Exhale, back down. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Keep the hands in front of you. Go ahead and lean forward. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And release that. And roll it out. All right, we're going to stretch through the chest and the front of the arm. So I'll do your right side first. So I'm going to take my hand behind me. Now, if you've got the chair, you can take it over the top of the chair. Otherwise, if you're on the ground, you're just reaching as far behind you as you can. Fingertips on the ground. So make sure you don't lean back, stay up tall, and then twist your body the other way so that you open up the chest on that side and the arm on that side. And breathe. If you want to, you can reach the opposite arm. Either way, make sure you're staying up nice and tall, that you're not leaning back. Focus on opening up the chest. Good, and release that. Roll it out. Let's take the other arm behind you, reaching as far as you can without leaning back, staying up on the fingertips if you're on the ground. Otherwise, your arm's over the chair, and then twist away. And if you want to, you can reach the opposite arm. Relax the shoulders. And release that back to center and roll it out. Good. All right. Let's finish with our neck, and then I'm going to read the last part before we reflect. So let's take the ear to the shoulder. Release that opposite arm and shoulder away. If you want to deepen it, you can gently pull. Keep the shoulders down. Breathe. And again, you want that ear right into the shoulder, nose and chin facing forward to start off with. And now I'm gently going to turn my head, looking toward the armpit. Keep the shoulders down, keep breathing. And gently bring it back and release that. Roll it through the front a little bit. And then take it to the other side, ear to shoulder. Release the opposite shoulder down and away. And if you want to deepen this side, you can gently pull the head. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. Again, ear right into that shoulder. Keep the chin facing outward. Good. Gently turn your head, looking toward the armpit. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. And bring the head back to where it was. Release it and then roll it to the front and keep it there. Roll the shoulders back and down. You can stay here if you want to deepen it. You can take the hands and gently press on the head. Relax the shoulders down as you do that. Breathe. And gently release that and bring the head up to neutral and roll it out. Good, all right, so I'm going to have you sit up tall. You can have your hands up in your lap and just bring your focus back to your breathing again. And I'm going to read the last part of Zechariah's song. And see if you can hear the hope and the joy in this last part. And you, my child, will be called a prophet of the Most High. For you will go on before the Lord to prepare the way for him, to give his people the knowledge of salvation through the forgiveness of their sins, because of the tender mercy of our God, by which the rising sun will come to us from heaven, to shine on those living in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the path of peace. And the child grew and became strong in spirit, and he lived in the desert until he appeared publicly to Israel. So let's just take a moment to relax and reflect on the words from today. Taking the theme of joy out of those words, and our Savior's theme, untangling our hopes, taking that theme from those words as well. And also reflect on what brings you joy, and in what way or ways in these days can we untangle our hope. Bring your focus back to your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, taking yourself out of the deeper relaxation, but taking that sense of peace and calm with you. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. And let's finish with a couple deep breaths. Big inhale. And big exhale. And again. And exhale. And thank you again for joining me. Have a great rest of your evening, and hope to see you next week.